Corona. COVID-19. Coronavirus.
It's all of these things, but what is it really? COVID-19 is the name of the disease that originated in 2019, caused by an RNA virus in the coronavirus group. The actual virus is named SARS-CoV-2. SARS stands for Severe Acute Respiratory Syndrome. This is also referred to as a novel coronavirus. In order to understand the pandemic, we must first understand the components of the virus itself. Firstly, viruses are parasitic forms composed of proteins and nucleic acids that require host cells or other living things to survive and reproduce. They use either DNA or RNA as their genetic information, which is like a blueprint to make all of their proteins and molecules needed to function. This genetic information is vital in taking control of or hijacking the host cell. The crown-like spikes of the virus target and bind to the human ACE2 cell protein. As the virus enters the cell, its outer layer dissolves in order to release its RNA into the host cell. The RNA then takes control of the protein production mechanisms of the host cell and forces the cell to use its own resources to make more viruses, which go on to infect other cells. How did the virus begin transmitting to humans? Well, coronaviruses are zoonotic, meaning that they can infect humans and animals. They have had the ability to spill over into other species, notably us humans, through something called interspecies transmission. What is interspecies transmission? This begins with the virus infecting a certain species at such a high rate that the species becomes a reservoir or container for the virus to exist in without actually harming the species. Then the virus infects another species as a result of close contact with the original source species. So what has to happen in order for the virus to infect the new species? The novel coronavirus, being an RNA virus, does not have proteins in itself to go over RNA when it is duplicated. This lack of supervising proteins causes a high mutation or mistake rate in the genetic information. Then with time, the virus uses these mistakes to gain favorable traits to overcome biological incompatibilities or barriers between the new species. Thus, it can now be transmitted to the new species. This process has been sped up by human encroachment into animal habitats and the existence of wet markets like fish and meat stands. How can the virus be transmitted between humans? 3 of the many ways that this virus can be transmitted are droplet contact, surface contact, and air transmission. Droplet contact occurs when an infected person can transmit the virus through droplets of bodily fluids when sneezing, coughing, talking, licking, kissing, etc. You get the idea. This is why the 6 feet social distancing rule can prevent such fluids from entering and infecting your body. Surface contact can occur when an infected person transfers their fluids onto a surface, such as a box, which can be touched by another to transmit the virus. Air transmission occurs when air containing the virus can be breathed in by others, therefore transmitting it to the other person. If we all take the responsibility to prevent transmission by using masks, socially distancing, and being informed, we can help relieve the current situation. What will you do to contribute?